It's not normal to have big mood swings. Your emotions are indicators of what's going on in the subconscious. And when they come up, they're designed to have you notice what's going on, feel, and pass through them. Anytime that they get stuck, especially things from the past that feel present still, we call that PTSD. Those are stuck emotions. And they can be severe PTSD or very, very minor. If you're still like emotionally upset by something that happened 5 years ago, that emotion is stuck in your body. So I want to talk about the distinction as we go through and talk about detoxification this month, that try on that your thoughts can be toxic. We know that there's a study that they did where they took stress response, and if we believe it's a good thing, like, oh, let's get it, it's going to be so great, versus, oh no, I can't have that, that's terrible, that has a physiological impact that's different and distinct in our body. So when we talk about thoughts as actions being inappropriate, what that means is something happens, you have an emotional response, and your emotional response gets very heavy or big or exaggerated, like you're really angry. You have a 2 stimulus and a 10 response. That's an emotion as an action. We feel like we're doing something because we're having this strong response. Our job is to actually start to unwind that and to get that emotions are simply indicators of what's going on in our subconscious. That they're there to be felt, noticed, because that's the clue to your body to listen, that you're listening to it. And that in turn turns your vagus nerve on so that it's like, okay, you know what's going on, right? Because it wants to let us know. Your body is talking to you all the time. So an appropriate response with an emotion would be, let's say your dog gets mauled by a coyote. You now have a problem that has to be handled, which is you need to get your dog to the vet to try to save its life. You have an emotional response because you're upset because you love your dog, and you solve the problem by taking action, and then the emotion goes away. Your dog is going to be fine. That's an appropriate response. An inappropriate response would be an emotion as an action, might be road rage. Somebody cuts you off and you get really mad. Why? Because it lets you feel like you're expressing that feeling, but what you're really doing is poisoning your body. So it's not a matter of just stopping it, but noticing it and putting something in place. So when someone cuts you off, have your knee-jerk reaction. It's okay if you get upset, but you want to see how fast can you pass through the negative emotion. When somebody does something that really irritates you, how fast can you pass through that irritation? When somebody does something that really upsets you, how fast can you pass through that anger or upset? You know, when you're really sad, how fast can you pass through the sadness? This is going to give you access to having emotions pass through the body quickly so that they don't get stuck in our tissues, and they particularly get stuck in your fascia, which is your connective tissue, and they don't have that negative stress response hormone that happens. Instead, they can just come and pass through. This is why it's so important for you to actually respond with compassion to those feelings and forgiveness for yourself first. In anything that's happening out in the world, you want to get, however you're treating people, that's how you're treating yourself. That is your body showing you what's going on the inside. So if you don't like what's going on, you want to go and look inside, because it's always here. How you respond is the answer. So that's just a little tidbit, and hopefully that helps.